Hi. Well, I'm on assignment this week in Shanghai, and as I rode the metro today in this town of 22 million people, I got thinking about what's been happening for a lot of us this past couple of years with the economy. I remember being on a radio show back in April of 2008, and the question at that time was posed, are we in a recession? And my response was, well, whether it's real in statistical terms or not, mentally we had entered the recession back in the spring of 2008. Most people were expecting it, most people were feeling it, and beginning to adjust accordingly. Of course, it was in September and October of 2008 that the bank crisis hit us, and by the end of the year, most of us were feeling the economic downturn in very significant ways. It had impacted most of our businesses. During this time, over the last couple of years, of course, we're always wondering, when are we going to pull out of it? And right now, a lot of the discussion is, are we going to, in fact, pull out of it now gradually, or are we headed for a double dip? And really, it's anybody's guess. Economists will talk on both sides of that issue, and the truth is we don't know. What we do know is that the circumstances are present for either to happen. So as smart business people, we should be planning for both alternatives, that we could be gradually coming out of it or that we could go into a double dip, and we should be prepared for either. Great business leaders understand that there are things about the future that we can't predict, but we can anticipate and plan for so that we're ready no matter which direction things go. And along those lines, I think of 4 different thoughts that can be helpful as we continue to think about how to manage through this time, and they're valuable principles that work in any kind of an economy. The first of those is that it's important to live in your reality for your business. And by that I mean you don't listen to everything else that's going on around you, but instead you focus on what are the realities of your business, where it's at right now, and especially what are the realities of your customers' businesses, because those are going to impact your reality quite a bit. And this can include anything from the overall economic trends to how dependent we are on consumer purchasing, to what's happening in technology or what's happening in the regulatory environment or what's happening with competitors. There are a lot of things to think about in the context of living in your reality and not just accepting this ambiguous idea of what's going on. The more you understand your reality, the more you can control your future. Number 2, we should reemphasize the importance of relationships over and over again. During a difficult time, during a volatile time, relationships become one of the great stabilizing forces. And the extent to which we help each other, the extent to which we're intentional in our relationships, helps us to navigate these difficult times. Number 3, we have to continue to be ruthless with unnecessary expenses. I know in our own business we've gone through a number of cutbacks and reevaluations of where we're investing our monies, and some places we've actually invested more, other places we've invested less. But during a difficult, volatile time, you have to be very, very precise in the way that you're investing and the way that you're controlling your expenses. And then number 4, in the midst of any situation, we should always be looking for new opportunities. We should be creative. We should be imaginative. We should recognize that even though there are situations in the environment that we can't control, there are also opportunities that we can take advantage of, and that we should be looking for those opportunities during this time. So these are 4 simple principles. They work really in any time, but they're even more important if your business is going through a continued and ongoing pressure because of what's happening in the economy. And if you're coming out and you're doing great, every one of these is great ways to optimize or to extend the benefits that you're getting from what's happening in your business right now. I hope these ideas will help you. They help me as I think them through as it relates to what we do and the clients that we serve and how we help them. These are valuable ways for us all to stay focused on making the most of whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. And those are my thoughts.